As an Olympic-style weightlifter, your goal during the pull should be to maximize the power transference from the floor into the bar. In order to do so, you must have robust musculatures in 3 places: the hamstrings, the glutes, and the erectors. Because the pull phase of the lift ends up putting the bar overhead or in the front rack, there is a massive change of speed that occurs that is commonly called the second pull. In order to have a successful second pull, you need to maintain your position throughout the spine as this addition of force goes from your feet through your core and into the barbell. What's important to note about the Olympic style pull is that because the barbell needs further trajectory than a deadlift, a movement which is inherently a hinge, you see lower hips in the setup. This turns the Olympic style pull into a hybrid between squat patterning and hinge patterning. Though positioning is similar during, say, the back squat and the pull, a vertical chest is less taxing during the back squat because less control is required to keep the load over the center base. Conversely, it is much more taxing specifically on the thoracic spine during the Olympic style pull because the load is now further away from the center base due to the addition of the arms. In powerlifting, this is accommodated with higher hips. However, Olympic lifters don't have that luxury. So, isometric strength throughout the back, starting with muscular development in the erectors, is an absolute must. What I've done for you guys is put together my favorite exercises to develop the post chain specifically for weightlifting. The first movement is the clean pull with the focus on the eccentric tempo. In my opinion, there is absolutely nothing that touches this movement as far as erector development goes. If you notice, before each descent into the eccentric portion of the lift, I take a breath in and force retraction in my scaps and keep that retraction the entire time. I try to keep my chest up and trace my legs with the barbell on the way down. Again, you'll notice the rebreathe in, then really trying to keep the scaps back and chest up. Next, we have the RDL, and what's important to notice is that the main difference here is the height of my hips and the angle of my knees during the descent. Everything else stays the same. I rebreathe, force the scaps back, keep the chest open. However, this time I'm forcing the stretch in the hamstrings and glutes. So again, it's a very similar movement to the eccentric pulls from before, but as you can see here, the main difference is the height of the hips and the angle of the knees. Also guys, both the eccentric pulls and the RDLs can be done with a snatch grip as well. And while I'm snatch grip RDLing, I can give you guys a nice RDL fact. The Romanian Deadlift was named after a Romanian weightlifter, Nicu Vlad. He was an Olympic medalist, and he was seen doing this movement in the training hall, and no one had ever seen this movement before, so they coined it the Romanian Deadlift. And the third and final movement is the Cang Squat. Now this movement you can't load as heavy, however I find it really helps with control because you transition between the hinge and the squat patterning twice within the same lift. The same things in the eccentric pulls and the RDLs apply to the hinge portion of the Cang Squat. It is very important to keep your chest open or your thoracic extension. Basically, the hinge portion should feel exactly like an RDL. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel and you like what you saw, please subscribe for more educational content on weightlifting.